pulse of the community. She's the mom of everybody.
I'm a great believer of different cultures coming together.
There's not much cultural diversity here. I thought, we've got to get something happening here as well. She brings people together. She's so positive.
What happened, you cannot change it, but you can change what is ahead.
She's sometimes a friend, sometimes like a mother. She has done so much for me. Time to let go and be a fool. Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly.
Hello my viewers, welcome to Experience Abroad, a place where we give you all the information that you need to know about the latest news abroad. We have a lot lined up for you. Please stay tuned and thank you.
To fly, we can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky.
Hello my viewers, welcome to Experience Abroad. I'm very delighted that you could tune in today. Our mission is to inspire you through successful stories and experiences from our people who live abroad. But before we start, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have been giving us their feedback through emails, YouTube, Facebook, and even through Instagram. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an incredible story from a Kenyan Australian woman who have beaten all odds, broken glass ceilings, to rise up to become the Australian rocker hero of the year 2021. This is a position that will be envied by many, including the Australian natives. But guess what? We saw one of our own march to the dais a few weeks ago to meet the Australian Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, for her award. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome this amazing and phenomenal woman by the name Rosemary Kariuki.
By helping them connect with each other and their communities.
Welcome Rosemary. Karibu sana. I'm very privileged to have you in the show. Karibu sana. Probably you can start by telling us just a little bit about yourself.
As you have heard, my name is Rosemary Kariuki, and I live in Australia right now. I was born in 1960 in a small village called Eldoret in Rift Valley, Kenya. I have two boys, and then I have my nephew who I brought up.
Nice, good to hear. If you don't mind me asking, Rosemary, how did you end up in Australia, and how long have you been there, and how has it been like living in Australia?
I came here in 1999, and I was running away from the tribal crashes, as you know, those tribal crashes in Eldoret that were happening. So I was very angry with what was happening, and I wanted to look for the farthest place that I can go. And for sure, Australia is farthest. I think also I was looking for is a place where I was telling God, take me, so you know me, you know my characteristic. Take me to a country where I will be, it will be for me. Because everybody in Kenya, they go to US or they go to UK. But for me, I don't know why my heart was not in those two countries. And how I came to Australia, God just chose it for me because Australia is everything that I love. That's everything somebody can ask for. God is very good because I came in faith, and that's the faith I'm still living on up to today.
Wow, what a wonderful story. Most of us who live abroad understand that it is not easy to relocate to a new place and start afresh from scratch. Please tell us your journey as a new immigrant to Australia.
Going overseas doesn't matter where, it's not easy. But for me, I was just looking. Even when I came, I knew what I wanted to do. So I had 3 boys, and I knew I'll bring them as they finish. So when I came as a visitor, and then I changed my visitor to a refugee. It took me 6 years before I got my permanent residence. But one thing I want to share with the audience is never stop your plans because something is holding you. Don't say, I can't do this because I don't have that. Enjoy that day as if it is your last day because you don't know whether you'll get that PR or you'll never. But I'm a big believer that when you ask God something, He gives back. He gives it to you at His own time,
Oh, yes.
not your own time. So I knew I'm gonna stay in Australia. So for me, the first thing I got a job in a Navy shop, and then because it was a broken shift, then I got an accounting job in between. And so at that particular time, my job I was focused, and it's always good to be focused. So for me, I didn't sit down thinking, oh, I don't have PR, I have this. I remember my first car was a Volvo, but don't ask me which year it was because I think it was left by during Noah's time. And on Volvo. And I used to live next to the sea, the ocean. But suddenly, my boss used to tell me, Rosemary, you know how lucky you are. And I said, why? You drive a Volvo. You live in a place called Brighton-le-Sands. Brighton-le-Sands is one of the best places. And I thought overseas everything is like that. But I never used to see it because I used to work 2 jobs 7 days.
Wow.
Because I had to look after my family back home, and I have to look after here too. And on top of that, I started volunteering because I come from a big family. When I came here, I'm alone, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how do I survive? So I saw in my church advertising they're looking for people to visit elderly people in nursing homes who are lonely, who don't have family visiting them. So I said, what a good way to spend lonely time with a lonely person. And that's how I started volunteering, visiting a nursing home. And I did that for 3 years.
Awesome. In the past few weeks, we have witnessed immigrant women from New South Wales, Australia, telling of their beautiful stories of how you have touched their lives. Please tell us what you do in your community that have changed the lives of the people.
I started something called African Women Dinner Dance. And the African Women Dinner Dance was to bring the women so that they can know the services. Because I looked, what does women like? They like dancing. They like dressing up like the way you are dressing up in that beautiful dress. They like doing their hair. And they like dancing and eating. So I was thinking, what can bring them to come and know the services? And for sure, the first dinner dance, which was 2005, we had 350 women attend. And we had a domestic violence survivor who talked about domestic violence. And the following Monday, we had 20 women come with domestic violence. So through
Wow.
that, another program was both called Culture Exchange Program, where I take women of different cultures, Indians, Afghanistan, Africans of different countries, and they live with Australians in their own homes for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every year
Mhm.
we do, I do it twice a year. So through all that, I've a lot of
Mhm.
this comes out of those programs. And I've
Mhm.
supported women. A lot of domestic violence comes out of that. A lot of maybe children. How you know how in this overseas you don't have communities, extended
Yes.
family members to support. There are no
Mhm.
uncles, so the children and the parents clash a lot. So through
Mhm.
that, I've been supporting them, referring them to the services, and through that, that's how I was nominated a local hero.
What a story. So, before we discuss that beautiful moment when you received your award, I would like you to tell us what has been your motivation. You seem so passionate about what you do. What motivates you? And what are some of the challenges that you have faced on your journey?
So start with the motivation. The motivation that I
Mhm.
get to continue doing what I do. When people give me the stories, what they
Mhm.
do. One man lived
Yes.
outside and he's got and he told me, Rosemary, when the COVID started, we had a lot of backpackers. And when the backpackers they didn't have any job because nobody wants to go near anybody, I thought, what would Rosemary do today? And she said, Rosemary will
Mhm.
feed them and will give them accommodation. And exactly, she took
Mhm.
20 backpackers, gave them their farm, they put their tents, and he gave them food, and he showed them the kitchen, and they cooked. So that's what motivates me. When
Awesome.
I see a woman who is crying, who is going through domestic violence, he's
Mhm.
battered, his confidence is zero, coming in the street running to me, Rosemary, I'm working, and they're singing in the street. That's what
Mhm.
motivates me. And what challenges?
Mhm.
The challenges that I have, first one, I get tired because I have people thinks I have answers to everything.
Mhm.
And if somebody comes to you with an issue, you cannot say, let me this. It's not like a paper. You can say, this paper,
Mhm.
I'll work with it on Monday. If
Yeah.
it's an issue, you deal with it there and there.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. And then the
Mhm.
second challenge is uh, people don't do things because they say they don't have money. Everything I do, I
Mhm.
don't have any money. I don't have any
Yes.
funding.
Mhm.
And what I do, I just knock doors. I just go to people. I
Mhm.
say, this is the thing I'm doing. Put me in. Then I go to another organization. I tell them, this is my budget. What are you gonna do for me? And through that,
Mhm.
because people believe in me, and respect is something very important. You have to
Mhm.
keep respect. You have to be very
Awesome.
faithful because once they know you are trustworthy, people will not
Mhm.
stop giving you.
Yes.
So those are the challenges. Never stop doing what you're doing because people are pulling you down.
Now we have come to that special moment. How was it like when you received the message that you had won the award?
Oh my! When I was told when they announced my name, the prime minister
Mhm.
announced my name.
Yes.
I didn't think I'd win. Oh my God! I
Mhm.
started dancing and I walked and I'm thinking, oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm just thanking
I
God,
can
and
imagine.
it was so humbling. And I'm thinking,
Mm.
oh my God, this village girl all the way from Kamkunji coming
Oh
with
yes.
all those contours and wherever. And now I'm standing next to the prime minister. It was
Oh
very
my
humbling
God.
from an African woman and an African community and all migrants in this world.
Australian of the Year Awards.
I was born in Kenya and came to Australia on my own. It hasn't always been easy, but I learned a lot. I now use my experiences to help other female migrants and refugees achieve their full potential.
Would you please welcome the Prime Minister, the Honourable Scott Morrison. Well, thank you very much for that Kariuki. Rosemary Kariuki migrated to Australia in 1999 to escape family abuse and tribal violence. Since then, she's dedicated her life to aiding other migrants and refugees by helping them connect with each other and their communities.
We live in a multicultural country with more than 270 ancestries and many indigenous cultures. However, we often live in silos. We keep our own people, what is familiar, and miss that beautiful sharing of culture. Like many migrants and refugees, when I came to Australia, I was very lonely. I was in a foreign land and could not understand the Australian accent, you know that. I didn't understand the culture.
Thank you very much.
And it was so far away from what I knew. It took me a while to feel like this country is home. I lived in an apartment of 15 families who never looked at me or talked to me. One day I sent each one of them a Christmas card with my name and door number. And from then everyone stopped to say hi, ask about my culture, and invite me for meals. Everyone even started talking to each other. I would love to see more Australians, those born here, refugees, migrants, anyone who calls Australia home, open their doors to their neighbors. Get to know them, knock on their door, organize a street barbecue, go for a walk or a picnic. When I say neighbors, I don't just mean the people living next door. I mean the people around you. Another mom at your kid's school, someone you see at the gym, a stranger in your office. Many families who open their homes during our cultural exchange program say it's a life-changing event. They'll tell you when we open our doors to our neighbors, we open our hearts and we give ourselves the chance to rejoice with others, to learn from them and grow with them. It takes courage to open our hearts to our neighbors, to reach out in friendship to those we don't know. Sometimes we don't realize the differences the smallest gesture can make, like smiling to a stranger or saying hello or hello mate. Sometimes we don't realize how much sharing information, even things like our local services, can help someone be open and not scared of any perceived differences. Because as humans, we have more similarities than differences. We have an amazing opportunity to learn about different cultures and traditions, not to mention the food, music, and dance a bit. And together we can make this wonderful country that I call home even greater. So let us share what we know and give each a helping hand. Let us embrace our multicultural nation, more building on it and looking for the opportunities and positives. I would like to encourage every one of you to meet someone new from a different background this coming week and see what doors open to you. You will possibly be helping that person to experience their new homeland in a new way. and to feel they belong. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Rosemary Kariuki, Australia's local hero for 2021.
Australians, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds with nature's of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let's take the stage, advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Wow, wow, wow. What a beautiful and incredible moment it was. You are such an inspiration to all of us. What advice would you give to the people that lives abroad?
For me, what I can give to people overseas is one thing. People live as if, yes, we know we came for a better life. Come and they just follow the dollar, dollar never finish. I say, I'm 60 years now, going to 61. I'm still looking for it. And if I've never been a millionaire, why do I want to be a millionaire at my age? To do what? Stop and think, what do you want in life? Because there are better things in life than just money, money, money. So
Yes.
one thing, money is good, I like it too, but you have to yourself. You have to, as I said from beginning, you have to have a goal. And you have to set aside time for yourself, for your family. Every day stop and for half an hour and think, what did I do today? What is that? Just one good thing I did to somebody I don't know. So the audience who are listening to me, I want you to go and talk to your neighbor that you don't talk to, that mother you go to daycare with, that person in church who doesn't talk to anybody, the kids' parents where they go to school. And can you imagine what a beautiful world it will be?
Oh,
And
yes.
that's my message. Go out there and know your neighbor. Also think
Yes.
about what can I give back to the community. And not only community overseas, community in that village that you came from. Never
Yes.
forget where you came from, because God just picked you, brought you to where you were. Why didn't He
Yes.
choose your sister, your brother, your cousin, or your neighbor? He didn't just bring you overseas to follow the dollar. He overseas to make a change, yes, for your betterness, and also reach out to somebody else.
Thank you so much for your great words of advice. I have learned a lot as a person, and I know even my viewer is learning too.
And I'm inviting all you women to come to Australia. I want you to come and see the programs that I run. And I don't want you to come 2
Awesome.
weeks. I want you to come 3 weeks.
Jackie already talked to me. We are planning about October next year. We shall come. We are coming, and we
Yes,
may
I really
even
want
bring
you.
with us some women from the United States. So we are coming.
That is so good. That is so good.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. We are so glad that you spared your time to be in the show. I know it is not easy to wake up early on a Saturday morning. I know it's about 9 a.m. in Australia. Thank you so much. We are so proud of you, and congratulations. I look forward to see you next year in Australia. Get ready, we are coming, and our celebration date is still there. Be sure to check a foundation by the name Hannah Community Development Project. This foundation is owned by Rosemary and her family. They have been giving back to the society back home in Eldoret, Kamukuji. So please make sure that you follow them, and I'm going to drop this link in the description box. And if you'd like to support or donate to help them continue supporting this community, feel free to do that. Just check that link in the description box. They have named this project after their mom, who is Hannah, and the project, the foundation is named after her, Hannah. My viewers, thank you so much for watching. We have come to the end of this show. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post the next video. See you in my next one.